Hey guys, what's going on? It's SpyCat. We're on to another favorite actor whom I collect, Kevin Bacon. Anyway guys, Kevin Bacon was born July 8th, 1958. He's from Philadelphia, and he's 58 years old. So I'm going to show you guys all my Kevin Bacon movies. Here we go. Alright guys, so the earliest movie that I have of Kevin Bacon is Friday the 13th, which came out in 1980. I totally forgot that he was even in the first Friday the 13th movie, but I guess he is. And 2 years after that, in 1982, he was in a movie called Diner with Mickey Rourke, Daniel Stern, John Ritter, Rob Lowe, I think. No, not Rob Lowe. Who's the other guy in this? I thought it was Rob Lowe. That's another movie. Then 4 years after that, in 1986, he was in Quicksilver. This one's pretty good. And then a year after that, in 1987, he was in Whitewater Summer. Good adventure kayak, crazy, good movie. I like this one. Yeah, this is a good one. I remember this one. And also in 1987, he was in a small part in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where he plays the taxi driver, but it's uncredited. Next movie I have is She's Having a Baby, which came out a year after that in 1988. Good movie. Next movie I have after that is Flatliners with Julia Roberts and Kiefer Sutherland. This one also came out in 1990. Or no, this one came out in 1990. She's Having a Baby came out in 1988. Next movie I have was another 1990 movie. We all remember the great movie Tremors. That's a good one. I got the collector's edition of that. And this is one of those movies that probably no one's ever heard of. It's called Queen's Logic. And it came out a year after that in 1991. I doubt anyone's even heard of that one before. He also was in JFK, which came out also in 1991. Kevin Costner, a whole bunch of actors in this one. Robert Duvall, tons of people. A Few Good Men. This one came out a year after that in 1992. This was a pretty good movie right here. And this is how I started the video off. The Air Up There. This movie, I don't know if it's on DVD. I think someone told me it never was released on DVD, so I'm kind of glad that I have this rare VHS one in my collection, and it's The Air Up There. Pretty good movie. This one came out a few years after that in 1994. I like that one. And another good movie that came out in 1994 he was in was another great, I love the adventure ones, River Wild. He plays a bad guy in this movie, though. It's kind of weird. But yeah, River Wilds with Meryl Streep. I like this one a lot. This is one of my favorite ones with Kevin Bacon. And next I have Murder in the First, which came out a year after that in 1995. This used to be out of print. I don't know if it's out of print anymore. But yeah, Murder in the First. Christian Slater. Next I have Apollo 13, which came out in 1995. Another 1995 movie. This was a good one. I like this one a lot. Yeah, this was a good one. I forgot Bill Paxton is in this one. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize Bill Paxton. I forgot he was in that one. And another good movie that came out in 1995 he was in was Balto. And he does the voice of Balto in this movie. He's a main character in this movie. I wonder how many people actually know that Kevin Bacon was the voice on Balto. I got the old school clamshell edition here. I don't think he did the voice on Balto 2 and 3, though. And the next movie I have is Sleepers, which came out a year after that in 1996. Tons of great actors in this one. Hoffman, De Niro, Brad Pitt, Jason Patric. That was an okay movie. Next movie I have is Picture Perfect, which came out a year after that in 1997. He did this kind of a romantic comedy he did with Jennifer Aniston. And another movie he did in 1997 was Telling Lies in America with Brad, I think this is the guy. Yeah, Brad Renfro. Renfro. Is that how you say his name? Anyway, he passed away early. He's one of those, like, actors that, like, passed away early. He was in the movie Bully, too. He had that main role. This was a good one. And I think he was in Deuces Wild, too. Yeah, he was in Deuces Wild as well. But, I don't know if this is on DVD. I got the VHS tape of this one. And in 1999, he was in Stir of Echoes, kind of a horror movie. Kind of like, I don't know, mystery, thriller, horror. Mainly horror movie, though. And a year after that, in the year 2000, he did one of my favorite movies of all time, Hollow Man. I love this movie. Just a great movie where he figures out how to be invisible, and then he turns evil. Great movie, man. I love that one. And also in 2000, he was in the movie My Dog Skip with Frankie Muniz. Or Muniz. Muniz? I don't know. However you say the Malcolm in the Middle guy. Mystic River. This is a great movie. I love this one. This one came out a couple years after that in 2003. This is a great, great movie, man. One of my favorite ones of all time. And the next movie I have came out in 2004, I believe. I think it was 2004. Yep, it was 2004. And this one is, I gotta say, this is one of my favorite Kevin Bacon movies. This movie is basically about a guy who's a sex offender, and he spends time in prison, and then he gets out and gets a normal job, and then everyone at the job finds out that he is a pedophile or sex offender, whatever it is, child molester, whatever you want to call it, and they give him a hard time, but he just wants to kind of change his life, and and he actually helps track this other, like, sex offender that's around the neighborhood he's living in. So, but it's a great movie. I like this one a whole lot. If you haven't seen this one, it's one of those, a really good movie. Next movie I have is Loverboy, with this one came out in 2005, a year after that, with Marissa Tomei's in it, Oliver Platt, Matt Dillon, and that chick. Yeah, and this is definitely another one of my favorite movies with Kevin Bacon in it, and it's Death Sentence. This is just like Death Wish, just your vigilante movie. They kill his whole family, and he comes back for each one of them. Great movie, and this one came out in 2007. And it was from the director of Saw, so you can imagine that it's pretty violent. Next movie I have is Rails and Ties with, I think this is a Clint Eastwood movie he did too. And this one came out in 2007 as well. Yeah, this is Clint Eastwood directed this one, I think. Pretty sure. And the last movie I have, the latest movie that I have with Kevin Bacon was Elephant White. Haven't watched this one yet. I think I recently got this one. And let's see, this one came out in 2010. This one looks pretty good, though. I gotta watch this one. But yeah, that's it for my Kevin Bacon movie collection. Hope you enjoyed, and see you for the next actor.